Good afternoon and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Ogwa Vivian Unyedibia. We begin with the oil sector as President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed Mr. Mele Kolo Kyari as the new Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. A release by the NNPC Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs, Mr. Undu Guamadu, stated that President Buhari also appointed alongside Kyari 7 new Chief Operating Officers. Until his appointment, Kyari, a geologist, was Group General Manager, Crude Oil Marketing Division of NNPC, and also doubled since 13th May 2018 as Nigeria's national representative to the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. President Buhari has directed that the new GMD and the newly appointed Chief Operating Officers work with the current occupiers of the various offices till 7th July 2019 towards a smooth transition on 8th July 2019 when the appointments would take effect to ensure a smooth transition. However, the appointment of Mr. Farouk Garba Said Northwest, who is replacing a retiring Chief Operating Officer, is effective from 28th June 2019. And moving on, there is no doubt that efforts are being made to strengthen the nation's electoral system. Improvement in legal framework, enforcement mechanism, and carrying along with persons with disabilities are part of the suggestions made at an electoral reform roundtable attended by members of Nigeria's Civil Society Situation Room and Kofi Annan Foundation in Abuja. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday was there.
Democracy allows peaceful transfer of power through institutional mechanism, which credible and legitimate elections are regarded as the cornerstone. These key players, comprising local and international observers, acknowledge the fact that there is no election that is perfect, but it remains a key democratic legitimacy. And as Nigeria opens a new 4-year cycle, they want an inclusive and sustained constructive dialogue in addressing concerns towards necessary reforms.
Even in these difficult circumstances, we saw INEC make some improvements.
In many other electoral jurisdictions, there is provision for review of complaints before returns are made.
For the national chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshomole, the cleanup of the electoral system is in the interest of all Nigerians.
Created a window for corrupt INEC recs and corrupt collecting officers and corrupt presiding officers to pick and choose where to excuse the non-use of card reader and where not to excuse it.
Agitators for good governance say so much lessons have been learned that will help in future elections.
If it is not going to go against the popular Nigerian view, that is when only you can have numbers of political parties reduced.
We'll look at all these issues and then strengthen it so that we can move ahead, particularly since Kogi, Bayelsa, and of course 2023 elections are just around the corner.
Transparent political party nomination of candidates and the need to ensure that no electoral officer conducts more than 2 elections were also recommended. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
Security, job creation, constitutional reform and human capital development topped the agenda of the Nigeria Governors Forum. Chairman of the forum, Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, said this at the forum's meeting in Abuja. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday once again reports.
It is the first time governors will be meeting after the forum's election in May. After the convergence of members, the meeting was held behind closed door.
Issued at the end of the meeting of the Nigerian Governors Forum.
When done with their deliberations, the chairman spoke to newsmen, itemizing their resolutions.
The forum resolved to propose the setting up of a security committee at the National Economic Council level and retain security as a recurring item on the agenda of the NGF for the foreseeable future, in order to continuously monitor development and security situation. State police is obviously an issue that is of interest to citizens and governors as well, and we'll continue to review our position on this. 3 members also resolved to relaunch its flagship state peer review mechanism program designed to assist states, foster good governance, and accelerate the rate of development through periodic reviews of progress made by state governments.
Gombe State Governor Inuah Yahaya took advantage of the meeting to speak on strategies to better the lot of the people.
I focus more on how I could improve on the situation so that we could have higher IGR.
The forum also pledged to work closely with relevant agencies to strengthen investors' engagements and promote strategic insights into states' competitive advantages. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
And talking health now, the health of citizens of D8 countries is now receiving attention as the organization begins consultation for a health and social protection program. Correspondent Makut Simon Macham reports that delegates from the 8 countries are attending the meeting in Abuja.
D8 is the acronym for Developing 8 Countries, which came together in 1997 to foster economic cooperation between member countries. The countries include Nigeria, Bangladesh, Egypt, Pakistan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Iran, and Turkey. Together, they share a population of about 1 billion people. Having made progress in areas of cooperation that include trade, agriculture, energy, transportation, industry, and technology, they are now shifting attention to health, an area they say has been less highlighted.
The D8 itself, endorsed the need to have the health and social protection program as a stimulant to enhance economic cooperation.
Health provides a great support for the other sectors, especially in economy.
We have a very success story which we can share in this forum.
This inaugural consultation meeting on health and social protection holding in Abuja is an attempt to incorporate health programs into the D8 portfolio. Nigeria is in full support of the initiative, considering the likely lessons and support it can derive from sister countries.
The government of Nigeria looks forward to the outcome of the meeting that will be adopted to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the health system for the better quality of life with assured population development.
When implemented as conceived, the program should enable us reach out to the vulnerable and the less privileged in our communities, especially the elderly, the women, the sick, the disabled, and those in dire need of healthcare and social protection.
The D8 platform provides member countries not only with an opportunity to build a healthier nation, but also the chance to explore those economic opportunities and unlock the huge potentials of the private sector in health.
Now, at this meeting, members of the D8 countries expect to share ideas of what is working in their health sectors and, of course, what the challenges are. At the end of the day, they hope to entrench best practices so as to ensure that their citizens get the best of health care. In Abuja, Makut Simon Macham, NTA News.
And the Nigerian Army is stepping up psychological support to its personnel at the various theaters of war to enhance their mental health and productivity in the service to the country. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, gave the cheering news in Abuja at a symposium on the post-traumatic stress syndrome, PTSD, and soldiers fighting in the northeast. Olabode Arewa reports.
Since the First World War, the armed forces of Nigeria have been involved in several United Nations peacekeeping missions and other wars to maintain peace and security in the country and overseas, the latest being the fight against insurgency in the northeast. All these battles leave physical and emotional scars with the soldiers and veterans. Retired Air Commodore Bami Balogun and Major Gabriel Adofiku have experienced battles in Liberia and Sierra Leone.
Everybody that goes to war is not the same person that comes back. They have an illness or the other, seen and unseen. So to treat them from those unseen illnesses, they must pass through psychological counseling.
After your service period, you are released from there with a certificate of service and thrown back into the society. And that's all.
Now, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, represented by the Deputy Chief of Policy and Plans of the Nigerian Army, Major General Bamidele Omozoji, is addressing all this with better welfare for servicemen to enhance productivity.
A lot of things have changed. Troops being inducted into theater now, there's serious kitting, boots, clothing stores.
A 184-page book titled The Nigerian Air War in Sierra Leone, which documented Nigerian soldiers' role in restoring peace in both countries, was presented to the public. In Abuja, Olabodarewa, NTA News.
And still talking health, the quest of Ekiti State government to improve the health indices of its people, especially at the grassroots, has received a boost with the full accreditation of the College of Medicine in the State University. Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Dr. Mojisola Yahaya Kolade, expressed hope that the development will go a long way in checking maternal death, infant morbidity, and other diseases. Kola Adebobuyi reports that automatic employment now awaits the first set of graduates.
The College of Medicine, Ekiti State University at Ekiti EXO, has since its establishment been confronted with accreditation challenge, despite efforts by the management of the institution, the intervention of Governor Kaode Fayemi-led administration, and repositioning the education sector in the state is however yielding results, which is manifested in the accreditation of College of Medicine after providing crucial financial and logistics supports.
The implication of that is that now, for the next 5 years, MDCN had given us permission to go on with our program and to graduate our medical students as at when due.
So these are going to surely improve our indices.
The State Governor, Dr. Kaode Fayemi, has however promised to employ 50 medical doctors from the college on graduation to enhance primary health care in the state. In Ado-Ekiti, Kola Adebobuyi, NTA News.
This is Nationwide on the NTA. Let's quickly go on a short break.
NTA Television College JOS announces admissions into 2-year diploma programs in film and television production, television engineering, and broadcast journalism. The sale of forms will commence on the 13th of May and run through 30th July 2019. Admission forms can be obtained from all marketing offices, NTA State Capital Stations, zonal centers, or at the office of the Academic Secretary, NTA Television College, Rayfield, JOS.
On payment of a non-refundable fee of 7,500 Naira in bank draft in favor of NTA TV College. Applicants can also obtain the forms through the NTA TV College portal at www.ntatvc.edu.nj.
Applicants are required to possess 5 credits in GCE or SSCE in relevant areas of study in not more than 2 sittings, including English and mathematics. All properly completed forms attached with photocopies of credentials must be submitted on or before 30th July 2019. For further inquiries, please visit our website at ntatvc.com or call 0803-3144-383.
NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be.
Registrar, Announcer.
The Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria is here to help you succeed. SMEDAN gives you entrepreneurship training that will make your business grow big. It can create access to finance. SMEDAN can help you prepare a good feasibility study and link you up with the finance institutions that would fund your business. It can also create access to market through local and international trade fairs, opportunity fairs, and exhibitions. SMEDAN also organizes programs to identify innovative entrepreneurs and promote their business ideas. Contact us at Plot 35, Port Harcourt Crescent, Area 11, Garki, Abuja, or visit our website www.smedan.gov.ng.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
Enjoy the best of African football as NTA, Africa's largest television network and hotspots, Nigeria's foremost sports production and marketing company, bring you all 52 matches of the Africa Cup of Nations, Egypt 2019 live from June 21 to July 19, 2019. Yes, all 52 games will hit your screens in crystal clear digital quality. It's your guarantee of a memorable viewing experience and a wonderful cost-effective opportunity for corporate Nigeria to reach tens of millions of Nigerians. For sponsorship and commercial support, contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. Hot Sports, masters of the game. NTA, you can't beat the reach.
Thanks for staying tuned. A convergence of key players in the electricity sector, the youth and oil and gas sector players in Abuja has reached an agreement to put an end to vandalism of critical infrastructure to boost national development. Victor Azu tells us more.
A good look at these faces suggests a determination to shrug off the tag of vandals. Vandalism of public infrastructure has been blamed on the youth for so long, and this stakeholder summit under the auspices of the Vision One Leadership Development Initiative is to put things right.
This program has to serve as a call for Nigerian youth, particularly the youth in the Niger Delta, to have a paradigm shift in activism from militancy, from vandalism, from oil theft, from drug abuse, among everything confronting the nation, thereby putting premium on the issue of patriotism.
Key players in the affected sectors and security agencies take turns to count cost of the menace and point the way forward.
NMPC, as an organization, will continue to partner with you, the youths, in our collective efforts at enhancing the economic growth of our country through hitch-free supply, distribution, and transportation of petroleum products in the country.
Stakeholders are to be responsible by giving scholarships to best performing youths, within which facilities are protected, because good education will not give the gap for vandalism.
Now, with key players in attendance, all committing to working together, the long-standing challenge of vandalism of public infrastructure could very well be solved right under this roof. They only need to walk the talk. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
And the Adamawa State Police Command has arrested about 86 suspects in connection with kidnapping and other related life-threatening attacks on innocent members of the public. Ladi Bala reports that the police commissioner, Adamawa State Command Audu Adamu Madaki, while parading the suspects, vowed to end the activities of criminals and criminality in the state.
Asaf is a victim of the activities of Sheila Boys, who mercilessly cut off his hand in one of their operations last year. Today, the police have arrested those involved in the dastardly act against him. The suspects paraded include 65 Sheila boys who specialize in dispossessing their victims of their valuables using knives and cutlasses, as in the case of Asaf. 86 kidnappers who have constituted nuisance to the communities in Adamawa State, and those who specialize in stealing and buying stolen phones with their accomplice that usually instill anti-tracking device using these laptops.
Now in Adamawa State, we are having some repentant kidnappers. Are you supposed to hear that? We are having some repentant kidnappers who are willingly. About 3 of them came here yesterday and said, "Okay, we are doing kidnapping before, but we don't want to do it again."
Some of the items recovered from the suspect, whom will soon be charged to court, include 5 AK-47 rifles, 18 cartridges, 276,000 rounds of live ammunition, laptops, phones, and 10 cutlasses, among others. In Yola, Ladibala, NTA News.
And still talking security, following the federal government's sustained efforts at ensuring an end to all forms of illegalities in the country, the Nigerian Navy NNS Jubilee has arrested some child traffickers in Akwa Ibom State. Kelvin Samuel reports that the suspects were arrested following a tip-off and handed over to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, for further investigation and prosecution.
Suspects were arrested along Uyo Road in Ikotabas local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Owner of the house, a 50-year-old Rose Friday, was alleged to have been involved in taking in young pregnant girls and selling off their babies soon after delivery. She was, however, arrested by officers of the NNS Jubilee who acted on a tip-off from an intelligence report. While appreciating the people of the area for their cooperation, the executive officer, NNS Jubilee, Navy Captain Badamosi Yahuza, reaffirmed their commitment to eradicating all forms of illegal and criminal activities in the area.
Our patrol team got an intelligence report of the activities of human traffickers, and we dispatched our men to the area. Luckily, we were able to arrest these 3 suspects.
The 50-year-old Mrs. Rose Friday, 2 pregnant girls of 20 and 16 years, and a baby of about 2 years were handed over to the men of the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, who assured that the case will be properly investigated for possible prosecution.
We were detailed to come for this handling of suspects of human trafficking.
From Ikotabas local government area of Akwa Ibom State, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
And it's time now to join Hingino in the mega city for more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Hingino.
And welcome to Lagos. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, says over 13,000 victims of human trafficking have so far been rescued and rehabilitated since inception, while over 400 traffickers have been convicted. The Director General of the agency, Dame Julie Donley, said this during a sensitization outreach in Lagos. Michael Olale reports.
Nigeria is a major source, transit and destination country for victims of human trafficking, with over 800,000 persons either subjected to forced labor, prostitution or sexual exploitation, according to a 2016 report by the Global Slavery Index. Sadly, 95% of these victims are young and below the age of 35. This advocacy to Ekpe Junior Grammar School is to enlighten the students on the persuasive approaches adopted by traffickers to recruit their unsuspecting victims and sensitize them on the need to exercise their constitutional rights. The Director General of NAPTIP was at the Palace of the Oba of Lagos, where she seeks for the collaboration of the traditional institution in eradicating the menace of trafficking.
We need their voices to be heard loudly. The youths, those in the community, they respect the chiefs, they respect the Oba. And so when they speak, they take it very seriously.
The Oba of Lagos was represented by his white cap chiefs.
You can put in more effort by going into
control.
The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime also has a role to play in combating human trafficking, as the country representative wants Nigerians to be aware, careful, and report any case of human rights violation.
We need to get more prosecutions of those that traffic people, both that are receiving them in their destination.
The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons is adopting this strategy to reach the grassroots, as most victims of trafficking are usually recruited from rural communities. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
The Semi-Area Command of Nigeria Customs Service said it has intercepted 55 wraps of cannabis smuggled and concealed in a dead body coming from Ghana along Owode axis. The Customs Area Controller of Semi-Customs Command, Mohammed Ubagarba, made this known during a media briefing at Semi-Border. Nosa Usula reports.
The Customs Area Controller of Semi-Customs Command stated that the command also seized expired biscuits and baby diapers smuggled in through the land border. According to him, in the course of manning the border by security outfits of the service, a vehicle was flagged down for cross-examination and a dead body was found in the vehicle.
Under the guise of carrying corpse, dead body, we had additional 55. So the total quantity is 1,686 wraps with the value of 25,290,000.
What Customs has done is beyond revenue generation. They are contributing immensely to national security.
The intensified operation of the enforcement unit of the command had drastically reduced smuggling activities to the barest minimum, adding that the command generated the sum of over 2.6 billion naira from March till date.
These are the samples of the biscuit, expired biscuit. They are unfit for human consumption. This is what we call collaboration with other agencies. The relevant authority has satisfied it is unfit for human consumption.
The customs boss called on patriotic citizens to support the command by reporting any smuggling activity or any relevant information that will assist the command in discharging its statutory obligations. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
The Nigerian Television Authority, Africa's largest television network, remains a station to beat, given the quality of manpower and state-of-the-art facilities to provide viewing pleasure for Nigerians. The effort by the management of the Lagos Network Center in this direction was appreciated when the Director General, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, visited. Adeola Omokive has the details.
Providing excellent television service requires state-of-the-art facilities, dedicated power supply, and skilled manpower. With this in mind, the Lawal Ahmed-led management of the Lagos Network Center of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, went to work, replacing obsolete cameras and other facilities in the studio, rehabilitating broken-down generators, and collaborating with international organizations to equip staff to give their best. All these were highlighted by the Zonal Director, Lawal Ahmed, who conducted the Director General round the center. Still basking in the euphoria of NTA's hosting right for the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations, the Director General spoke on various issues bordering on restoration of the lost glory of NTA, staff welfare, and capacity building.
So we are very, we are conscious of the fact that we need a very contented workforce for us to move forward. And we're doing everything we can within the limits of our constraints to make sure that we keep everybody happy. The first thing in the area of training is for us to reposition the NTA Television College, which we are doing, and we're doing a lot of in-house training. NTA has some of the best hands in television in Africa. So we are making use of the talents we have at our disposal to train and retrain our staff, in addition to reposition the NTA TV College.
NTA2 Lagos Network Center, which is currently on DSTV, GoTV, and StarTimes, is living up to its name as the Reach Out Station. In Lagos, Adeola Omokive, NTA News.
More reports from Ogwa.
Thank you, Hingino. Well, farmers and agricultural experts in Kano State have predicted bumper harvest this rainy season, anchoring their position on the diversification policy of President Buhari's administration, which creates conducive environment for agriculture to thrive. Yohanna Suhassan Barao reports that this development spurs farmers to put more land into farming activities in order to enhance food security.
Kano State, with the projected population of more than 13 million people, out of which 80% of this population are farmers. There are two types of farming in Kano: rain-fed agriculture and dry season farming. Sizable percentage of farmers in the state engage in rain-fed agriculture. This year's rainy season has provided an opportunity for farmers to engage in farming activities. Ibrahim Makeri, Adu Salisu and Ibrahim Edi are peasant farmers who have been in this business for years. They said this year's season differs from the past because of the support and encouragement from the government, based on the improved seeds and other farm inputs provided to them in addition to extension services. As these farmers are hopeful of bumper harvest, an agricultural expert, Professor Sani Miko, said the diversification policy of the Buhari's administration is the driving force behind this success story.
All things being equal, I expect we are going to have a good planting season. This is my belief with the kind of interventions coming.
Kano State government has so far expended 130 million naira to improve mechanized agriculture as part of effort to encourage farmers to adopt large-scale production as a guest subsistence farming.
Going to be cheaper than the farmers to go and hire it out, and by doing so, the time of land preparation will be reduced.
With these measures put in place, Ibrahim Makeri and his lives will continue to produce at a lower cost and enhance the country's food security. In Kano, Yohanna Suhassan Barao, NTA News.
Edo State government visits Sickle Cell Center. Let's join Obey in Benin for more on this and other stories.
Thank you, Ogwa. Welcome to Benin. Attention is being paid to the care of sickle cell patients, just as the World Sickle Cell Day focuses on raising awareness on the ailment. Here are updates from Edo and Delta States on the initiative.
Governor Godwin Obaseki is at the Sickle Cell Center to identify with the patients. The governor, who described the patients as not inferior to those not affected by the disease, believes that with proper medication, life for them can be better.
For us as a government, this is one area we've been concerned about. Last year, I'm sure that the whole center was restructured and that some funding should be made available to improve the physical environment and the facilities.
The state is collaborating with eHealth Africa to better the narrative of the Sickle Cell Center in the state. Meanwhile, in Delta State, the O5 initiative of wife of the state governor, Dame Edith Okowa, has facilitated the inauguration of a sickle cell center at the specialist hospital in Asaba.
If you realize that helping one person, that person will learn to help another, the multiplier effect is really huge.
Commissioning of this clinic is the fulfillment of a promise I made 3 years ago. I know that this initiative has been born for you out of a not so pleasant experience in life. You see, God allows things to happen to us, not just for ourselves.
The governor later took a tour of the clinic's facilities with outpatients outfit, laboratory, amenities wards, scan and blood transfusion rooms.
Government at all levels, industries, communities and individuals have been urged to work together to explore the potentials of environment-friendly sources of energy. This was at the 2019 World Environmental Day celebration by the Federal Ministry of Environment in Edo State. Judah Weke reports.
According to the United Nations, 7 million people, including 600,000 children, die annually from contaminated air. Countries around the world observe World Environment Day to create awareness on the dangers posed by air pollution. As this year's edition is marked, staff of the Federal Ministry of Environment in Edo State are concerned about the problem of air pollution. They toured strategic locations in Benin Metropolis, sensitizing the public to the dangers of air pollution and poor sanitary condition of their environment. Back to their office, they converged in this hall with other stakeholders.
I urge governments, NGOs, industry, communities, and individuals to come together and explore renewable energy and green technologies.
We, Nigerians, should take tree planting as a business.
For the keynote speaker, incessant oil spillage, gas flame, fume from factories, and improper waste disposal are some of the causes of air pollution that must be stopped.
Air is our mother. We need to preserve it. There must be joint effort to safeguard the planet and the environment so that we can live longer.
The theme of this year's World Environment Day is air pollution, greening the blue. In Benin, Jude Aweke, NTA News.
And away from health, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has expressed worries over abandoned projects of the Niger Delta Development Commission across the state. The governor was speaking in Akure while playing host to the acting managing director of the commission and his team. Doris Olumoko reports.
The governor, who expressed sadness over uncompleted NDDC projects across the state, urged the commission to ensure speedy completion of all abandoned works.
If Niger Delta is not healthy, this country will not be healthy. So for healthier Nigeria, there needs to be healthier Niger Delta.
Acting Managing Director NDDC, Professor Nelson Brimbraifa, applauded the governor for his genuine concern for the well-being of the citizenry.
We are also committed to delivering more efficiently, professionally, and speedily on all the projects we have begun in this beautiful state, as well as in all states of the Niger Delta.
The Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC was established in the year 2000 with the mission of facilitating rapid and sustainable development of the Niger Delta region. In Akure, Doris Ulumoko, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. It's over to Ogwa in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thanks, Obehi. Office of the President of the Senate has reviewed the appointment of Festus Adedayo as Special Advisor Media and Publicity to the President of the Senate and decided to rescind its decision on the appointment. A statement by the Special Assistant to the Senate President on Media and Publicity, Mohammed Issa, also wishes Adedayo the best in his future endeavors. And 3D inaugurates Chief of Army Staff projects. Let's join Caleb in our Just Network Center.
Thank you, Ogo. Welcome to JOS. As the war against corruption heightens, major key players have advocated the Catch Them Young approach, where children are properly educated on the consequences of indulging in corrupt practices. Speakers at a one-day meeting organized by the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption and the National Orientation Agency could not hold back their emotions as they decried the menace of corruption on every facet of society. The story of corruption in Nigeria has been told severally, but what stands out at this particular forum is the call for a holistic approach to the menace, with everyone being involved.
The family, the religious institution, and the educational institution. They are the ones that teach people how to behave. When they become corrupt, the society becomes corrupt. If your children are not receiving the right education, it is possible against the link between corruption and service delivery in the education sector. Take the newspaper from Monday to Sunday. Do an analysis of the issues. We are likely going to have about 80%, if not 90% of the issues revolving around corruption. And that's to say that we have a national problem.
The Plateau State Governor, Simon Lalong, while commending the efforts of PACAC and NOA, gave assurances of his administration's commitment to key fully into President Buhari's zero tolerance to corruption. The consensus is that Nigerians should see the fight against corruption as a collective effort which should not be left to the government and its agents alone. The federal government has set in motion an initiative that will distribute food worth $2 billion through its social investment program, tagged My Food Bank Nigeria. Plateau State Operations Manager, My Food Bank, Simon Peter Asemo, made this known at the official launch of the project in Plateau State. Abdul Wahab Abankanti takes it from here.
The Food Bank is an initiative of the federal government with strategic and unique food empowerment program that will make cheap, free, subsidized and healthy food available to millions of Nigerians.
With as little as 15 naira, you can access quality food. We're not just concerned about eating good food, but quality food.
The project will be operated with smart cards that will be distributed to millions of Nigerians, regardless of their social and economic status, but with special consideration to the needy and vulnerable persons.
Food security is important not only as a metric to judge the functional and development of a society, but it serves as the first step in developing and sustaining both the physical and cognitive abilities of its members.
In Plateau State, the program is launched with 18,000 food smart cards with expected funding by card owners, government, philanthropists, corporate organizations, international and local donors.
Food is what sustains everyone. And as a patriotic Nigerian, we should endeavor that no Nigeria goes home without food.
This initiative in tackling food insecurity will cover the other parts of the nation in the coming days. In Jos, Abdullah Babankanti, NTA News.
To actualize the vision of having a responsive Nigerian army, General Officer Commanding 3 Division, Major General Nuhu Angbazo, has inaugurated some projects at the Maxwell Kobe Cantonment, Jos. This, the GOC says, will ensure all-round spiritual and physical welfare of the officers and men, as well as their families. Rinret Sylvanus Lord tells us more.
Concerned with the capacity of the cantonment in meeting the medical needs of officers, men and their families, the division embarked on improving facilities at the military hospital with attention on the accident and emergency unit.
The commissioning of the accident and emergency is timely because the nurses and midwives within 3D area of responsibility just concluded a training program recently on how to manage emergency cases, meaning that they are already abreast with skills to effectively provide emergency services.
The spiritual need is also paramount as the All Saints Protestant Church got a facelift, providing a conducive atmosphere for worship. The gesture was applauded by the other chaplains present.
There is need to pay attention to our troops' spiritual upkeep, especially this period that the Nigerian Army is faced with security challenges.
A cantonment that is resilient and determined to improve the welfare of its officers and men led the GOC to the 3D golf course, which is also being worked on. From the Maxwell Kobe Cantonment, we met Sylvanus Lott, NTA News.
And that's it from Jos. Ogwa is back to you.
Many thanks, Caleb. And reports just reaching us says members of the National Economic Council have been tasked to fashion out effective strategies towards lifting the less privileged Nigerians out of poverty and secure the nation's future for sustainable growth and development. President Muhammadu Buhari, who threw the challenge while inaugurating the National Economic Council, said paying special attention to issues of security, education, health and agriculture is critical towards guaranteeing a peaceful and prosperous Nigeria. We'll bring you details in our subsequent news. And it's time for one more break. Nationwide continues shortly. Stay with us.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day.
They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
One Football Confederation, 24 teams, 6 stadiums, 4 cities, 504 African stars, 1 trophy. The Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2019 comes alive from June 21 with the showpiece final on July 19, 2019. Watch the 52 matches of the tournament live on Africa's biggest and largest television network, NTA, in partnership with Hot Sports. Be part of the biggest soccer fiesta in the African continent as the Super Eagles go on a bold mission to clinch the prestigious title for the 4th time, to the excitement of millions of fans across the length and breadth of Nigeria. For inquiries, please contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
The Nigerian national flag is a sacred national symbol. It is a mark of patriotism and a show of love for our nation to fly the national flag correctly, in the right colors, right dimension, and in the right sizes for each occasion. In recent times, it has been noticed that government offices, corporate organizations, banks, embassies, and other notable institutions fly faded, shredded, and haggard-looking versions of the national flag. This is wrong and must stop. It has also been noticed that some citizens prefer to popularize the national flag of other nations. Fellow countrymen and women, let us be patriotic. Come, let us show love for our motherland. Fly the correct versions of our national flag in all relevant places. Be patriotic. Be proud ambassadors of our great country.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Thanks for staying tuned. Chinyere is standing by in Enugu for stories making the rounds in that zone. It's over to you, Chinyere.
Thank you, Ogwa, and welcome to Enugu Network Center. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, has expressed satisfaction with the measures probably taken by the Enugu State government in addressing the identified safety challenges at the Caribbean International Airport, Enugu. The Managing Director, FAN, Captain Hamisu Yadudu, gave this impression during an inspection tour to ascertain the level of compliance by the state government to the request by the authority to ensure safety of air travelers at the airports. Has the details.
The FAN MD commended the Enugu State Governor, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, for being responsive to the alarm raised by FAN over the dangers posed by the proximity of the Oriemene Market, the abattoir, and the broadcast mast of the Enugu State Broadcasting Service, ESBS, to the airport. With the prompt removal of these obstructions, the MD disclosed that the engineering team of FAN and the consultants from the Federal Ministry of Aviation will soon commence work on the airport runway.
Captain Yadudu also explained that the issue of relocating the Empire Free Trade Zone adjacent to the runway has been resolved with the management of the establishment. He, however, frowned at those living on the airfield near the airport and requested that the state government take further action on the matter.
About 2 months ago, we reached an agreement working with the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority and FAN project team, and now we have a solution whereby the required land that FAN wants to protect has been secured.
Governor Ugwanyi gave the assurance that the state government is committed to the issue of safety and progress of the Akani Biam International Airport. The federal government had few months ago threatened the Akani Biam International Airport over safety concerns raised by the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Osita Boloma, has assured Nigerians of the agency's resolve to promote standardization and quality assurance in the country. He gave this assurance at a sensitization on laboratory services in Enugu State. Amechi Pius reports that the DG was represented at the event, which attracted participants from all walks of life.
In the last 1 month, the Standards Organization of Nigeria embarked on a nationwide sensitization on the agency's activities with special focus on the dangers of substandard and fake products. This interactive stakeholders forum was to empower participants on the services of SON laboratory services and the importance of product analysis.
Some provide testing services through the Directorate of Laboratory Services. The Directorate operates testing facilities to enable effective performance of quality assurance activities and the confirmation of product quality to provision of relevant standards.
SON's Edo State Coordinator provided insights into the agency's services and the imperatives of standards. First, the need for product testing to be in line with best practices to achieve quality of goods.
And to tell our numerous customers that S1 has everything for you to benefit from.
Laboratory is very, very vital, and for you to achieve quality, laboratory has to be there.
SON has over the years developed critical quality infrastructure to support the nation's industrial sector, especially small and medium enterprises, to produce quality goods. In Enugu, Amechi Pius, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Enugu. Is back to Ogwa in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Chinyere. Now let's talk sports. Nigeria's Super Eagles continue to perfect their strategy in Alexandria ahead of their opening game against Burundi on Saturday at the Africa Cup of Nations. Group B in focus in our AFCON countdown with Amanzi Marcus.